Should we give him a woo?
Yeah. Woo!
Wake you guys up. So everybody's good?
Great.
Good. I'm so happy that you're here with me today. So I put this class together because I wanted people to be able to grow their businesses without feeling like they were breaking their backs. And we're going to review some principles today that have helped me scale my business. How many of you guys find it hard to work on your business rather than in your business on a daily basis? Everybody, right? I'm gonna raise both of my hands, right? You get caught up in the day-to-day and writing contracts and putting out fires, and by the time you get home, and if you have kids like me, they're running around and you're changing diapers and putting them to bed and bath and all that. By the time I'm done, I wanna work on my business. I really, really do, but I'd much rather sleep, right? Because I need sleep at some point. So as entrepreneurs, which all of you guys are in here, you gotta consider yourself that, there's a point in time in your life where you need to understand that you need to do the things that are required of you in order to be able to scale your business. And sometimes that means that taking a couple less hours of sleep will be required. Because believe it or not, the principles I'm going to teach you today, they take very, very little time, but will allow you to leverage your business for years to come, and you will instantly see an uptick in your business by putting some simple little things in place. Because how many of you guys have had an okay month, but then had an amazing month, and it just felt like all hell was breaking loose, right? So if you're anything like most people, once you start doing a bunch of deals and you've got a lot of things going on, it's hard to manage all that. It's hard to find time in the day to do the things that you need to do, and you start making mistakes. So BombBomb has allowed me to automate some of the processes during the loan process for me and the real estate process for you, as well as allow me to rehumanize the experience. So what do I mean by that? So BombBomb allows you to rehumanize the sales experience through video. So what does rehumanize mean? What does that mean to you guys?
Makes it a little more personal instead of the automated email like, hey, happy Thanksgiving, picture of a turkey sent out for everyone, shotguns,
Right.
boom, and then they don't see your face. It's just a generic message.
And we call that what in our industry? Does anybody know what the word for that is? You mind if I take off my blazer?
Oh,
All right, just get a little relaxed.
The gun show.
Gotcha. They have a dress code at work, so I had to throw on a blazer today, but Will took off his blazer, so I thought I could do it too. So that's called noise. That's called noise. So in the world of marketing and sales, all that email, it was out of control. This Black Friday, I had to go through my inbox like 10 times, no less, to be able to clear out my inbox for the amount of spam. And I didn't read one email. Out of curiosity, how many of you guys actually read any Black Friday emails? It's okay if you did. I personally didn't. You read a couple, right? Maybe some electronic one. How many did you get? 100? They went to spam, right? But are you guys anything like me where on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you guys are just getting tons of spammy emails about everything, right? So unless you're standing out and you're being completely different in this business, what makes you think that you're not going to fall within that same swipe and delete as everybody else, right? You gotta be different. We're gonna talk about relationships are the whole point. I'm gonna say that again. Relationships are the whole point. So many of you got in this business because you like to help people, right? You want to get people into homes. You want them to help them achieve the American dream, right? But a lot of us have forgotten that relationships are everything, the whole point. Why did we forget about it? When we get it, how many of you guys invest in internet leads? I know a lot of people do. When you get the internet lead, what do? You send a text message. You know how many people I see in our industry that don't pick up the phone? Right? Whatever happened to picking up the phone? They send a text message, it's a templated text message, and they're probably likely on multiple other websites, Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, some Google pay-per-click, right? They're getting hit, and everybody is doing the same exact thing. Whatever happened to picking up the phone and just talking to somebody, right? So video and BombBomb will allow you to differentiate yourself and still automate and scale your business while being able to send those text messages, because I know sometimes it's hard in our busy life to be able to pick up and call every single person. While I encourage that to be your number one thing, always pick up the phone and call your leads. You do want to automate that process. And also, if they don't pick up the phone, you want to be able to have an alternative means to cut through that clutter and the noise that we're talking about. And BombBomb allows you to do that. Okay, so we're here to build relationships, guys. There is nothing like getting a video from somebody. Imagine you as a consumer and going anywhere to purchase a product. Let's say you go into a car dealership, right? And you go purchase a product and you leave that car dealership and that salesman sends you a personalized video over text message. Would you pause for a second and think, man, this person is doing something different that nobody else is doing, right? And that's something that can happen in your business always. I'm going to show you guys some stuff today that's going to literally blow your mind. That's simple and easy to do for extremely affordable price per month without breaking the bank, that you guys can scale your business literally overnight. So we got a lot to go over today. You guys ready to strap in and go through it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question I want to ask you is, what is your differentiator as real estate professionals?
Throughout the entire process, it's some piece of relationship. So when we meet, you get something. When we go into contract, you get something. When we close, you get something. When you send referrals, you get something. As opposed to, of course, you're getting a great service that you've never received before in your life. But throughout the whole process, it's like, damn, Beyonce keeps giving me stuff.
Okay. All right. I like that. So how many of you guys have a strategy to use video in your marketing in 2020? Okay. How many of you guys use video right now on a consistent basis in your business? Okay. So what are some of the fears of using video right now?
I don't look good.
You don't look good? Come on, man. You're more GQ than anybody here in the room. Look at that. I wish I could wear what you wear.
People don't like how they sound and they don't know what to say.
Okay, that's valid. Anything else? So they don't know how they're going to sound. They don't know how they're going to look. Delivery, so they don't know what to say. What else?
They don't want to be too short or too long.
Too short or too long?
Video.
Okay.
I think
So this statistic right here, 56%, represents a recent study that was done by BombBomb, where they picked an organization and over about a week's time period, they had their team send out about 1,000 emails with just written emails, okay? And then the following week, what they did is they had them send out 1,000 emails and they incorporated video into every single one of those emails. And 56% of them with the video got a response more. They got a 56% more response rate on all of their emails because of video. That's huge. Why? Because again, we're putting the human back into the transaction. Why is it hard for people to scale their business?
Too busy trying to do their business and not taking the time to set up that initial automation.
We're not robots, right? We're humans. So we all have capacity, right? Some of us are just by ourselves. We're not on a team. Some of us don't have the capital to invest in the systems to do it. Some of us don't have the knowledge or know-how. There are so many different reasons that we're struggling with scaling our business today. One of the biggest reasons, because I believe that information is available a lot more predominantly than it's ever been before. What do I mean by that? Is that you can get access to information, how to do things, technical things, practical things, things to build your business for free. So the excuse these days of saying, I don't know how to do it because I have to pay for that course, has anybody ever heard of YouTube? Right? It's out there. The information is out there and you get it. What I believe is the biggest challenge in scaling our business today is, how do you find time back in the day that doesn't exist? So my team hears this a million times from me. It's something we talk about in our organization. So how do you find time back in the day that doesn't exist? Let me ask you a question. How many of you here in the room find yourself sending the same emails to prospects about the same things, giving them the same feedback, or sending the same thank you emails, or just sending the same of everything every single day and literally having to type out those emails word for word? Does anybody do that? Everybody does that, right? You guys are constantly sending out the same information every day. How many of you guys have actually put templates together for your emails for things that you send frequently so you could press one button and send it out? part of the way that I was able to scale my business, and this started before I even knew about BombBomb, was that I recognized as a loan officer every single day that I was sending out pre-approval letter emails, and I was explaining to people that, hey, give me a call before you, put an offer on a house so I could run payment estimates. I was replying for people who had bad credit and giving them a structure of what they needed to do. I had people that I was replying and acknowledging that I got their email and I was going to get back to them. And I would make Outlook signatures, literally, like, any of you guys use Outlook? You know how you can create your own signature? So one signature would be pre-approval, one signature would be reply, one signature would be this, and I would click the signatures, it would populate, I would change some of the wording, and I would send it out. And I found out about BombBomb one day. And how many of you guys are procrastinators? So some of my best work I do after I'm under pressure and procrastinated, right? So how many of you guys get a long email from a client asking a bunch of questions about a particular property or about their deal, or maybe they have questions about financing, and you just click unread and you go back to it later? Because why? You don't want to take the time, or you don't have the time to write out the email, or you don't want to give the response, or you're not sure what to say, right? But don't some of you guys say to yourselves, man, if I just recorded a video, it would be a lot easier to reply back to that. So I've done that. I know what I'm best at. Okay, I know I'm best on the phone and talking to people. I know that while I'm a great writer, I prefer not to do that. So what I started to do instead of procrastinating is, if I ever don't have the time to respond back to an email for any reason, I simply just press record on BombBomb and I record a video. Okay, so you guys want to see how that works?
Yeah.
All right, let's get right into it. Okay, you guys can see my screen now?
Yep.
All right, fantastic. So I use Gmail for work. How many of you guys use Gmail in the room? Okay, so it also has an Outlook plugin. So Google has a what they call a Chrome extension. So once you download this, you go into Google, you type in Chrome extension BombBomb, and you could actually add that in. And the cool thing is, as you see when it comes up, you guys have a send video button literally right on your email. Another couple things that you guys see that we're going to be talking about, I'm going to minimize it in a second, but it's tracking.
Love that.
And we'll show you why that's going to be effective later. And you also have record screen, which I'm going to blow your mind with that. So guys, listen, you press send video, okay? All right. Hey everybody, Zach Blesnick here with Home First Lending. I'm just sending you this quick email right now to let you know about the amazing BombBomb event that we're going to be having this week. Please join and we'll see you there. Bye-bye. All right, how was that?
Great.
All right, can I get a little round of applause for that? Recording the video on the spot? All right. So you guys see this little thumbnail button right here? So if you ever have like RBF, and you guys know what RBF is? Anyways, so you could actually click this thumbnail button and you could change your facial expression. So you just hold the mouse over it and you could smile, you could do whatever you want, and then you could press save. So that's really cool. I didn't bring a board with me today, but when recording video, what's really cool, go on Amazon, type in mini whiteboard, and get a whiteboard. It comes with a marker, and you literally can write on Doodle on it. And the cool thing about it, see how this is animating it? So it does a 3-second basically loop of an animation. So what we'll typically do in the office to get people's attention, whether it's a pre-approval email, whether it's a congratulatory email, a closing, whatever it is, we'll literally write on the whiteboard, congratulations on your new home, congratulations on your pre-approval. Or if you want to capture their attention and it's somebody like a new client that you've not talked to before, it says like, watch this, or whatever thing you want to put on there, you literally could hold those little mini whiteboards and you just point to it and it sees the animation and it comes up on there for you, which is really cool. And the great thing about this is that it creates consistencies in your process, okay? The old Home First Lending days, before we invested in technology, what drove me crazy about our organization was that every single email our processors would send would be a different subject line. Remember, Will?
Yep.
The emails, we would provide templates, they would be different, right? Why? Because people are human. They go in, they change things. I don't know why people do what they do, they just do it. When you do things like this, you can be predictable in your business and you could systemize it so it's the same every single time, so that if you're sending emails. For us, we like to do this because when a real estate agent gets it, they know that it's the same time that the email structured, they could easily find a pre-approved letter in their inbox on a later basis. So I record the video. So what's the key to recording videos on snippets? You say, well, I'm not being personal because I'm not saying their name. It's very simple. Like, hey, Zach here, just sending you a quick email with your pre-approval letter that's attached. I'm so excited to be able to talk to you, right? And don't worry about you recording a bunch of videos, with the same outfit on, because you're going to be sending them to different people. So maybe you send one in the beginning of the process and one at the end of the process. Okay, maybe you record half of your videos on one day and you record half of your videos on another day. Okay? But this is simple stuff that you guys can do in order to be able to automate your business and have things at the click of a button. So what are some other things that I do? Just as an example. So if I go to snippets, here, I've got other things like closing disclosure. So what are some emails that you guys send? Do you guys send congratulatory emails to your clients once they've closed?
Yes.
Asking for reviews, things like that. So these are all things that you could basically put snippets in. Here's another one, final closing disclosure, right? And to create a snippet, it's really, really, really simple. So inside of any email, you literally can type whatever you want. You just copy over it. This little save pops up, you press it, and you can name your snippet. It's really that simple. So anytime once you invest in BombBomb and you write an email, you say, you know what, this is one that I send a lot, I'm gonna go ahead and save it and do that. Record video, so welcome email, you can record a video, asking for reviews, invites. What else, Dana?
I do like a next steps email, so once they go into contract, I give them this, what to expect in the next 4 steps after they go.
Okay. So why don't we write down something that would help our business today, which would be recording videos for each milestone in the process. Okay? So, hey, Jen here with eXp Realty, just congratulating you on the acceptance of your contract. The seller signed it. So excited for this process. At this time, I'm going to be sending the contract over to your loan officer to get the process started. They should be in touch with you within 24 hours, right? Whatever else you want to say, expressing gratitude. And you record another one. Hey, congratulations on your loan approval. That's so exciting. If you have any questions, reach out to me or your loan officer, right? And set milestones throughout the process that you can automate. Why? Because 2020, for us to elevate ourselves in the industry, has to be number one at the top of the totem pole, has to be the customer experience, okay? That's your differentiator, the customer experience, because we're a commodity, guys. You can go and get a house, you could buy a house through any real estate agent. There are 1,000 scales. Do you know how many real estate agents are in just the Orlando, how many? 16,000, right? So how are you guys differentiating yourselves from doing that? It has to be about the customer experience, about touching people, getting personal with them again. This is the way you can do it through video, because the reality is that, let's be honest with each other. How many of you guys meet your or build a relationship with your client over the phone for the first time, never see them until maybe you show them a property, 30 days goes by, and then you see them at closing. So you've maybe seen them 2 or 3 times. Now, of course, if you're showing them a lot of properties, that makes a difference, but how many of us are actually staying in touch where people see our face, see our expression, see our personality, see who we are within the 30-day window before starting and finishing a deal? How many times do you guys have a client who asks you questions about certain line items in a contract? So it happens all the time, right? How many of those things, how many things in the contract do you find, like for us, I could tell you that clients always ask on the fees worksheet. There's one spot on the fees worksheet where they look at the closing costs on the bottom left-hand corner and it adds up all the closing costs for the buyer and the seller, right? But then they never look at the column to the right that says cash to close. And if they just did any simple math and subtracted the down payment, they would realize that their closing costs are half of what that actual sheet says. Now, I wish the sheet just said what the closing costs were, but it doesn't. That's regulation for you. My point that I'm trying to make is that there's a lot of preventative things that we can do in our business on a daily basis that buys us time back in the day that doesn't exist. I'm going to say that phrase over 1,000,000 times, right? Because how many times you say, man, if I just sent an email to that client explaining what they're getting in their inbox, explaining what's in the contract, or saying to them, hey, when you get the contract, there's going to be a section of the contract that if you read it, it will be confusing, because most of my people that I do business with, most of my clients, they end up asking about it. What it is this. So there's one of two ways you can do it, right? You could explain that contract section in a snippet like I just showed you, or you could record a video, or you could do something even cooler. So BombBomb has a screen recorder function that allows you to record directly what's on your screen and still give the human touch while talking through it. Basically what it's going to do, guys, is it's literally going to record your screen. You could position this wherever you want, so you can move this up, right, left, wherever you want it to be, so that people can see your screen. And now when you send out a contract, how different would you be than maybe a real estate agent that they work with before if you say, hey, just want to scroll through these few pages of the contract, and this section is where you want to sign. Again, I'm so thankful for the opportunity to assist you. I'm so happy to have the opportunity. If you have any questions on here, by the way, while I'm scrolling through this, see this section number 8 right here? A lot of my clients get held up on this, and I just want to read this to you and explain to you this is something that you don't need to worry about. Everything is fine. If you have any other questions, bam, this section is what's good. And actually be a real estate or mortgage professional, right? We get paid a lot of money to show property and send an electronic document, right? The least we could do is actually slow down for a minute and explain it to them so they don't have questions, all right? And if they do have questions, they're limited, because I know that a lot of the time I see that's eaten up in our world during the day is people who have questions that we knew the answers to, and we knew we should have given those answers to them sooner, but for whatever reason we didn't. Why? Because we didn't have the time, or we didn't feel it was a priority. BombBomb will allow you and help you to do that without wasting a lot of time during the day. Deontay came into my office the other day and he goes, Zach, he goes, next time I send a buyer over, I want people to meet the team and know who stands behind them. So with the help of Randy, our in-house videographer, I simply recorded a video that just said, hey, Zach here with Home First Lending. Right behind me is the team that's helping you. By now, Deontay has referred me over to assist you. We're so excited for that. And we put a personal touch on that. So now, when he refers over a customer, rather than just sending a bland email and saying, hey, I want to introduce you to Zach and his team, he can now say, hey, I want to introduce you to Zach and his team. Please watch the video that's attached. And now I'm saying hello to the customer. I'm introducing myself. I'm showing that I run a real operation. My team's behind me. And they can now immediately put a name to the face and know when I'm calling them, they feel like they've already met.
For some of you guys who are going over to your office, it'd be a great time to do that kind of quick little video, introducing them to the office, introducing them to the staff. I think it's so important. I mean, think about this when you say, hey, I want to introduce you on an email, versus say, hey, I want to introduce you to an email, and they walk into the screen. It's like, hey, I mean, that's super important, guys. I remember when you guys started using video into your, I probably was one of your first clients a couple of years ago when you did that, and I was wowed by it. It's the consumer, and you haven't got to it, but the consumer can't tell anything but a personal relationship. And at the time, I had no idea that was a video that he had created that was evergreen.
Yeah.
Didn't realize he didn't say my name. I just saw the energy, and it just felt good to actually be acknowledging rather than just reading something. I mean, I hate long emails.
Yeah.
So to be able to see the video and consume it that way was huge.
I can't tell you how many videos that I've sent to clients in the email that responded back and they say, well, I've never seen people do that before. It's just a wow factor and stuff because nobody's doing it. It's a way for you to differentiate yourself. So BombBomb, if you download their mobile app, they have 2 mobile apps. So we're going to be discussing what those are. But one of the mobile apps is where it's got a really cool feature that you guys can use for house walkthroughs without any editing. So you press the record button and you can say, hey, Sally, this is Zach here. I'm doing your video walkthrough. I'm walking through the foyer here. It's a beautiful grand entrance. And then you press pause. You walk over into the kitchen. You say, hey, I'm here in the kitchen right now, and this is what's going on in the kitchen. Press pause. You walk to the bedroom. Why? Because you're cutting down the video. All right, now I'm in the bedroom. Then you press stop, and it automatically puts that video together, and you could just send it to your client right then and there from the BombBomb app. Then on top of it, if you make it, like you said, evergreen, is that the word that you're using?
Evergreen is the word.
If you guys,
We use it over and over.
if you guys have a hot listing and you want to do a video walkthrough, right? How cool would it be to do that video walkthrough, right? And then you've got a couple people in your database, buyers that you're working with that know, and you just say, hey, I'm out here in this property that I thought was amazing. Let me do a quick walkthrough. Pause, walkthrough, pause, walkthrough, pause. And then you just blast it via text message to 10 or 15 people. 2 seconds. So BombBomb integrates to your iPhone where you could literally click a button, you could find the video. So if you get a Zillow lead that comes in via your email, right, or text, you get a lead, or it has the phone number right on there. Hey, new lead received by, you click on it, press send message, press the BombBomb, select the video that you have, it's done, and it's out to them right away. It's not there's no faster or easier way to stay in front of your clients now. Okay, stop sending text messages without videos. Just stop doing it. BombBomb, the next thing I want to show you guys is something called automation. Okay, so automation, there's a million different things that you could do with that. Specifically, let's go back to the conversation we had a little bit while ago about milestones. So what you guys can do is you can create, for instance, this is a new buyer automation. This one is particular for just educating the consumer about the process. Depending on the level of BombBomb that you get, so there is a basic service, and then there is a prompt service. We're going to talk about what that is. So within the prompt service, they give you actual content. Okay, so content is probably the hardest. The reason why a lot of us don't post stuff on social media is because we don't know what to write. So they write the content for you. So for instance, with this particular one, I can create a new automation that a personal video introduction goes out to them at the beginning of the process. A week, you can wait a day, a week, however long you want. You can post when it goes out, and frequently asked questions on loan commitments, getting the best mortgage rate, you can own a home, renting versus buying. So when somebody comes into your CRM, you could set them up on an automation. And by the way, BombBomb integrates, I'm going to show you on a screen who they integrate with later, but they integrate with most of the major CRMs, so you guys can have these automations and drip campaigns. So when somebody comes into your sphere, if they're not a buyer or a seller right away, you can still drip on them with important information. Now the great thing about this is that each one of these things that they write content for you allows you to record your own video. It also allows you to remove the video. So if for any reason you don't want to send the video on that particular milestone, you don't have to. Again, something I wouldn't encourage you to do, but you can put in the video. The really other cool thing about the prompt service that we're going to show you in a little bit is that they send out emails to your database monthly, and BombBomb actually provides training videos on what to say and the scripts and how to say it. So they take all the guesswork out of it. So they literally say, this is what you want to say. They tell you how to talk to your clients, how to communicate with them, and then they're going to give you time to be able to record that video and send it out. And if you don't record a video, they'll send out the email for you anyways to your database, and they'll post on social. The one mistake that I made early on in my business is that, and I don't want you to make, and if you're in the business for a while and this isn't a focus of yours, you need to pivot and make it a focus of yours right away, is your database. Because I got news for you. Have any of you guys heard the word disruption in the last year? Okay. So there are companies out there, right, who are trying to corner the market. There will be a day where you won't be able to purchase the same internet leads that you are purchasing because you won't have access to them. Because they're going to be only selecting the people who can convert those leads. They're no longer going to make them available to the public. So what is the name of the game going to be? You're going to have to figure out how to create your own leads, or you're going to have to mine your database. Okay? Every single person that you talk to on a daily basis about real estate, you guys need to add into your database. And with Prompt, they put together meaningful information, pretty much like a newsletter, to be able to send out to your database every month. And the way that you cut through that clutter and noise that we talked about is you add that video to it. So now people feel like it's actually a personal email, and it's not just an automated blast that gets sent out to everybody else because it's personalized with a video. If you subscribe to the prompt service, they offer for mortgage and real estate professionals, and they've written over 77 pieces of content for mortgage already, and they have the same for real estate, if not more. okay? When you click to do a new email, this is where you go into identifying your brand and sending consistent branded messages through your email on a daily basis. So you can create your own template. So has anybody ever seen like a nice email that goes out and somebody has a template and you're like, wow, this looks really pretty. How do I make it look like this? They basically build the HTML code to be able to do that for you. If you guys look at this, they'll provide a template for you. So I had them design it. So if you have, Jen, your Journey with Jen, is that Journey with Jen? So they'll design whatever your logo is for you up here, make it to your brand colors, link it to Facebook, Instagram, everywhere you want. So when you send out your emails, it's right there. You can click to add a video. So I can go ahead and choose from a pre-done video that I had before, okay? Or I can upload any video I want, or I can record it right then and there. So this is where actually marketing to your database is going to be extremely helpful and effective for you. So just to show you guys some of the emails that we send to our database on a daily basis, so you guys can, or a weekly basis, so you can get an idea of maybe some ideas. Will sent out to our database going to, where is this, Crafting Common, Will?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a local coffee shop, and you sent this out to our past client database, Will?
Yep.
So
this here, this is one of my favorite coffee shops in all of Orlando. Crafting Common right here in Robinson. Come on in, let's take a look.
So the whole point of marketing to your database with video is not always sending them stuff that's like real estate related. You've been hearing a lot about it. Is content is king as far as providing things that people could relate to. So if you're constantly sending them stuff about what is your interest rate, this is what the market's doing, and you don't connect with them about things around town that make sense for them, then they're going to start looking at that as spammy and they're going to stop reading your email. So I'm going to teach you guys something new. So think of BombBomb as, so how many of you guys wanted to like post a blog or do something, but you're like, man, I don't have a website and I don't know how to build a landing page? Does that ever come up for anybody here? Okay, so BombBomb allows you to actually create landing pages using their form builder. So within here, we talk about them basically wanting to do something. So if you want to send out a promotion to your clients, like to your past client database that says something like, hey, just touching base with you. I see that you haven't purchased a home this year. If you're still interested in purchasing a home, I'm giving away a free home inspection till the end of the year. Please click this form and indicate. The whole reason why clicking a form is important is because when somebody clicks a form and they fill it out, it shows that they're serious, okay? And it gives you a gauge to be able to find out if they're serious. Guess what? I built this form in BombBomb. All this is a landing page. The iPad that you signed in today, that's BombBomb. Guess what happens every single time you guys fill that out? It goes into a list, and literally, before I leave here, I can click one button, record on my phone, say thank you for joining the BombBomb course, select the list from my phone because I already created BombBomb attendee list, and I can send you guys a thank you email in a second, okay? The really cool thing is anytime you add a new client into BombBomb, so you get somebody's information, you integrate with BombBomb, you could select it where auto goes into prompts, so you literally don't have to do anything. Where anytime monthly it sends out the newsletter, you don't have to physically type the person's information into that list. It will prompt you to add them to that list. I just pulled up 3 different things that are completely different, and we're going to explain what they are. So number 1 is an open house. Number 1 is your perfect day, and another one is a refinance inquiry. Okay? So let's break down what those are. So how many of you guys are doing written sheets at your open houses right now? So how many of you guys are doing a written sign-in form at your open houses? How many of you guys are doing some form of tech, like using a tablet or something like that? Okay, and then the rest of them didn't raise their hands, they're not doing anything? Okay, so a lot of you guys are still using handwritten sheets, and we'll say that the industry as a whole is probably using handwritten sign-in forms, okay? So what do you think the biggest, going back to finding time in the day that doesn't exist, how many of you guys have piles of open house sign-in sheets and never take the time to type it out and put it into your CRM? Anybody guilty of that? Come on. I know I've done events. We all do it. Is anybody not guilty of that? I feel like snakes are spinning around. We can all agree that most of us, some of us, don't put the data into something. We just let the sheets accumulate, right? Okay, so you guys can build a form through BombBomb. Let me show you that. In order to get a tip that you guys want to understand is in order to get the maximum amount of people who actually are going to fill out your form, it's important to make the form be about feedback, not about lead capture. Whenever you ask somebody to say, hey, can you put your information down, they're automatically gonna say, well, are you going to spam me, right? But if they're a neighbor, they're somebody interested in the community, right? Simply saying, hey, and even putting on there, it was a pleasure having you stop by. Please feel free to take a look around. Can you fill out this form so we could, share some details regarding the home with you, and so we can inform the seller who stopped by and provide feedback. So lead with, hey, would you mind filling out that feedback form? Everybody has an opinion. Everybody wants to give it. But if you say, hey, can you fill out that form so I can get your information so I can send you some more properties, they're gonna say, I don't want you to spam me. That's just how people are. So position it as a feedback form. You'll get a lot more people that want to fill it out, if not everybody, okay? Another thing is about building a form, which I'll show you guys, is that you can customize the fields however you want it. Students to this part is very, very important. It's gonna help you guys scale your business quick. You create a list in the contacts for name the property address. On your form, you name the form the property address. In the options, you select that anybody that comes to this open house goes into this list automatically. So now you don't have to enter in everything. So now this is what I'm gonna do for you. This is what you guys are gonna do on your next open house. Now, everybody that came through your open house, you can do a couple different things with it. How about after the open house, you send them an email thanking them from going to open house. By the way, if you want to record an email prior to that, the second somebody presses submit in the open house, it will automatically send that pre-recorded video. So by the time they get into their car, if they're anything like me and they open their phone to check their email, that will be in it right away. How powerful would it be if somebody walked out of the open house, looked at their email that day, and a video email personalized to them that just said, hey, thank you for stopping by the open house. I really enjoyed meeting you, was already in their inbox. Do you think you guys would be a little bit different than everybody else?
It's huge, right?
It's huge. Here's another idea, okay? You're a listing agent. You've done open houses on a property that's not selling. You have a price reduction. Literally, you open up your email in here, you open up BombBomb, you press record. Check this out. You click on the address that you want. You press record. Hey, it's Zach. Thank you so much for coming by our open house last weekend. I just want to let you know we had a $10,000 price reduction. If you're interested in this home, please respond back to me right away and I'll get you some more information. Have a wonderful day. Press stop and send. In a matter of freaking 3 seconds, I just blasted to everybody that came into my open house. At the end of every month, put a calendar reminder on your phone saying, blast everybody that came to the open houses. Because why? You can select multiple lists at the same time. So you could select every open house that you did for the month and you could send a quick video. Hey, it's Zach. You visited one of my open houses this month. If you haven't had the opportunity to purchase yet, I would love the opportunity to do so. By the way, below my video is a quick form that's going to ask you some more detailed information. And now you create a form for somebody who you want to find out a little bit more. What's your price point? Have you been pre-approved? When are you looking to buy? You get a little bit more detail. Do you think if somebody opens your email, watches the video, then fills out that form, that's maybe somebody you want to work with, right? Work with the willing, nurture the rest. Work with the willing, nurture the rest. Guys, if you do stuff like this, you're going to have enough people that are responding to your emails that you'll have plenty of people in your pipeline to work. Everybody else, nurture. Stop beating yourself up over the people who are not responding to you. Put them on auto email. Call them, text them, send them the video. If they don't respond, put them on an auto email. They'll come around one of these days when they watch one of your videos. Is this cool?
Yeah.
All right, so you got some ideas on how to market to your open houses and scale them and make them more effective. Guys, the reason why we're not closing as many deals as we want is because we're not working our database. And we're not working our database because we're not taking the time to create our database. This is an easy way to scale and automate your business very simply by just creating open house forms to be able to do that. Okay? So let me give you something quick, simple, easy to do. Any of you guys ever see an ad on Facebook, the sponsored ads, and it says click here for more information? It's very difficult if you don't have a website or something you're proud to send people to. So the forms, like I said, serve also as a landing page. So what I did is for social media marketing, and by the way, see refinance inquiry, I got 30 people to fill out the form with, I think we did 5 emails. Okay. From there, we generated 10 refis. And I think half of them closed so far. So you're talking about $25,000 worth of revenue from sending 5 emails. You think you guys want to make some more money? So, I mean, the cool thing about this is that you can track it where I can see like average credit scores of people, so I selected in the form like loan purpose, what I want to do. So I could see of the people that filled out the form, 33% of them wanted to lower their rate, 7% or 25% wanted to remove PMI, 22% want to consolidate debt. It will give you tracking and spreadsheets based on the questions that you ask it. So you can put in your open house financing, yes or no. You could take the people that answered yes, send them to your lender, right? You can take the people, if you say, are you looking to buy within 0 to 30 days, 30 to 60, 90 days plus? You can look on the chart and you can click on everybody who said that 0 to 30 days and you can focus on them first. It will give you all the reporting that you need for to be able to go through that, which I think is really, really cool. So when I was talking about a landing page for refinance, so whenever you go on Facebook and you click learn more, if you don't have a website, create a BombBomb form. So when somebody comes on here, they're going to be able to read through some information. So it says refinance now before the end of the year, and there's a video and it says click here to get more information. You can literally build this out to look. They've got a bunch of different themes, looks, formats. You can make it look like a website, and then right below they scroll down and they can fill out the form and press save money now. Even down to the button on here, you could literally customize what it says. Save money now, call me now, whatever it is that you want to say, you can say on there. So if you guys build a new form for reviews and you brand it however you want, like you could say, you could do it as a feedback form. So you do 2 things: create a feedback form about their experience and then put them to a review. So what you can do is you could make this a feedback form and ask them the questions you want. And then if you scroll down, BombBomb gives you the option to redirect to a URL instead of a message. So you can put like Zillow.com / whatever your name is for your profile. So as soon as they press submit on the feedback form, it basically will send them right to the page that you want them to leave a review for you. And the best part about all this is it wouldn't be BombBomb if you couldn't add a video, right? So on here, you could edit this and you could add a video. So if you want to send a feedback form, you could, again, express gratitude, say, congratulations on your recent home purchase. Here at Home First Lending, here at EXP, here at wherever you work, we value feedback tremendously. Below is a couple quick questions. If you mind answering for me, if you had a great experience, please leave a review. When they fill it out, they press submit. It takes them to Zillow or Google, wherever you want the review left. They can leave a review, and it's done. Anytime somebody opens an email, clicks a link, watches a video, it will let you know. So you ever have those clients who are not responding to an email? What do I mean by striking while the iron is hot? If you send a client an email about properties, right, and they click that email and you know they're looking at those properties right then and there, do you think it would be better to give them a call in a few days, or do you think it would be better to give them a call when they're right in front of the computer right then and there looking at the property? And I give you a tip. Just call them and say, hey, how's it going? I sent you an email a couple hours or yesterday. I sent you an email yesterday. I was just wondering if you had a chance to look at the properties.
Looking at it right now.
Oh, wow, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. You're a mind reader. Yes, I am. And that's why you should use me for all your real estate needs, because I know exactly what you're looking for. Like, play to it, use it. So you guys have, they came out with, just like if you click on your email on your phone, they have an inbox email for BombBomb where you can click on it when you press reply. So when you're on your iPhone and you click the email box, you press reply, it comes up with a couple options. This one will come up and it'll say reply with video. So you could just press record and send you and respond to your emails right from your phone very easily and do that. Again, with the iPhone, I think it's really cool because any of your apps, your BombBomb will be right here and you can scroll through your library. I didn't even notice they had snippets. That's freaking crazy. So now they have snippets where I'd imagine are probably pre-templated texts with a video. So, hey, you just inquired on this property, and then there's a video. Why would you want to do text and video? Some people read text, some people watch a video, some people do both. You know what it is? You want it to be able to hit them from all angles. Do you know that 80% of video is consumed on mute? So you have to always include text in there as well. And there's a great website if you guys are pre-recording your videos called rev.com, rev.com. So if you guys invest in BombBomb and you're sending videos and you want to include subtitles on it, rev.com will transcribe any video for you for $1 a minute. Very affordable. So if you record 10 1-minute videos, you just spent $10 to transcribe it. So now when you send it via text to the client or you send it via email, if they're in bed at night, they're at work, whatever the case may be, and they can't play the video on loud, you now have your subtitles in the video with it. And it's $1, okay? And then they have the other app through the App Store that allows you to press record and pause and record and pause, and it edits it together for you so that you guys can do video walkthroughs or anything else with that. All right? Y'all learning something?
Yeah.
Good. All right, so we're almost done.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When you were talking about having teams using an account,
Mm-hmm.
does it come from your email address then versus your team?
Mm-mm.
Person on your team or how?
No. So if you have the Google Chrome extension downloaded and you log into Carla's email and you press a snippet, it's going to come right from your email. So you can log it through Gmail. Now, if you go to the website and send a video, then yes, it will come from, actually, I'm glad you asked that. So within the website, when you send an email, you can change the person that it's coming from and the email too. So like if you had a transaction coordinator and they wanted to go on the website, they can change their name to whatever it is and they can change the email so then when they reply, it goes back to their email. So yes, you can change that. Yeah. So like for instance, when I send out refi blast emails to my past client database, the name of the account is Loan Care. Nobody's gonna open that. I change it to Home First Lending so that when it comes, people see the name of the company it comes from. All right, so let's go over some quick tips when sending video. And this applies for any video, not just BombBomb, but specifically BombBomb for here. So number one, smile, okay? So whenever you guys start a video, especially when you get that 3, 2, 1 countdown, smile at the screen because it will save a video of you looking weird. Just smile, okay? Always start a video on your phone, wherever it is. Before you press the record button, smile. So that's the first thing that they see on the camera when the video goes through. Same thing like with an iPhone. If you're not invested in BombBomb, you just want to send a video to a client, smile and send a video text message, okay? Have a catchy thumbnail. We talked about that earlier. So get a board. It's a couple bucks on Amazon. Draw on it. Have a thumbnail that people are going to catch their attention and know that it's personalized to them and the experience that they're going through. Number 3, be yourself. Gil talked about it. Authenticity is everything. Don't try to be perfect on these videos. Why? Because there's no such thing as perfect. Okay? You're not going to get it right. You're going to screw up, but get it out because others are not doing it. Your bad video is better than everybody else's video who's not doing one. So smile, have fun with it, be yourself. You're not going to be perfect. And practice. Listen, when I first started doing video, when Will first started doing video, we weren't great at it, right? Gil put me on the spot at the last sales meeting here in this office, made me do mortgage in a minute, literally in a minute. And I was able to do it because of practice, okay? You're gonna have to practice a lot to get it, but it's cool, right? Because it just takes a second to press record and it takes another second to press retake. Practice a lot, you'll get used to it. It takes time. I really started my video journey October 21st of last year. So it took me a good 6-8 months before I started getting in the groove, right, Rennie? I mean, now we do one take videos all the time. Mortgage in a Minute that I put out is done in one take every single week. Because you just get the flow and it's natural. You want to treat the camera and be natural about it. So you actually don't want to use a script. And that might contradict what some people might say. Don't use a script. Be yourself. You all know what you want to say. I'm not talking about using a script when you're cold calling and stuff like that, but on video, if you're reading off of a screen, people are going to know that you're reading off of a teleprompter. Don't use a script. Study what you want to say. Be true, be authentic, be yourself, and just read and talk to the camera like you're talking to your friend. Invest in a good webcam off of Amazon. This is the most important part, okay? It's not the most, it's just important, all right? So most of you guys have tablets and stuff, and the webcams on there they're good, they're really good, but they're not awesome. Why? Because you can invest in a decent webcam off of Amazon for like $130. That's full 1080p. So when I send they have them, they clip right on the top of your laptop and they plug into your USB port and they have microphones. So you're gonna get professional video and audio quality from a webcam right on your computer. That's my information. If you guys want to contact me and get more information, and that's it. So.